Hello everyone, today I interviewed the world number 19 at darts and a massive Newcastle fan, Chris Dobey. Chris has had a fantastic couple of years at the PDC and today I sat down with him to discuss darts and Newcastle United. Firstly, I asked Chris about how Newcastle United and darts was going to be so important in his upbringing in Bedlington.
Obviously I followed Newcastle for years and I was more into my football as a younger lad, and obviously it's just the past 5-6 years where I've started to make a name for myself in the darters. Obviously, if I win that world title, it's in my head would I get to go around there St James's Park with a trophy, and it'll be great feeling to do that.
I then asked Chris about the ultimate goal for a professional darts player, and just simply, can he be a future world champion?
I always believe in my own ability that I can go on and do it. It's just whether putting the time in and proving everybody wrong that I can go out there and live with the best. And I'm starting to find my feet now where I've made a couple of TV semi-finals and I'm getting closer and closer to that first title, and who's to say that I can't go on and win it. But yeah, the biggest aim for me is just to get my first title and then hopefully more come.
The first PDC title is the aim for Chris, but I discussed the game in the Premier League in Newcastle in 2019. Just last year he took on Mensa as a contender. And how did Chris handle the whole experience of the day of being Newcastle's first dart player in the Premier League?
Obviously playing in front of, well, I say my home fans, you know. Yeah. There was a lot of my friends out there, family, and yeah, just loved every minute of it. It was surreal feeling. Obviously standing up there, coming out a local hero and hearing 3,000 fans chanting my name, it was just ridiculous. But I have been on the opposite end of that. I've had the fans against us as well, so it's nice to like see both sides of the game. So yeah, it was great.
As you can see, Chris loved the local support, and as a big Newcastle fan, what were his earliest memories at Newcastle United?
You always wanted to be Shearer, you know, kicking the ball around. It's one of those things. Obviously, back when I first started going to the matches, my first game was against Everton. I think we had a 4-1 win in it. It was a cup game. I went with my granddad, and yeah, I've had a season ticket for about 15 years after that as well, and I've seen them in the good days, and obviously I've seen a few bad days as well. So it's just nice. So I don't get many games now. It's nice to see them like picking up good wins. Unfortunately, what I do for a job now, it doesn't give us that time of day to go and support them as much as I would like to.
Chris mentions he was a season ticket holder for over 15 years. There's been a lot of good and bad memories over them times. But what are his standout moments for being a season ticket holder at Newcastle?
5-1 against Sunderland on the win. I was at the 3-2 against Sunderland, which I think that 3-2 against Sunderland when Emery scored the free kick, I thought that was better than the 5-1 because just the way it happened with a late free kick from Emery. But yeah, I've seen him, like I say, in the great days where Shearer, you turned Desai, you know, and put it in the top corner against Chelsea. It was a red hot summer's day. I think I was one of the ones with my shirt off in the crowd. It was one of those great feelings, obviously seeing him do so well, and that's what every fan likes and enjoys it.
Alan Shearer versus Chelsea. Who could remember that finish? That turn on Marcel Desailly. What a fantastic goal that was. I asked Chris, is Shearer his hero? And for him, was there anyone else at the club that he enjoyed watching?
Shearer was the number one always, but I like Nobby Solano. He was another fan favourite, and if I ever had a bet on it, would either have been Shearer or Solano for his goal. So yeah, it was just great.
Nobby Solano, how good was he for Newcastle United? So underrated was Nobby Solano. The ultimate for a pro darts player is the world title. However, would Chris rather have a world title at the end of 2020 or Newcastle to win the FA Cup? This is Chris's answer.
I have to go with myself because I'm there to earn a living for myself and my family. But I said in previous interviews, I've said it would just be like for Newcastle to win the FA Cup, or for me to win that, it would be just like Newcastle winning the league or the cup. You know, something big for me. That so yeah, I would have to say myself as the world champion. That would have to be the number one.
There are millions of darts fans around the world, but it's the North East and what he calls the hotbed of darts where Chris greatly appreciates the support the most, as he is a North East boy. Chris elaborates on that in this point.
Yeah, that's it. It's great to make a name for myself and have the backing of everybody back home. And yeah, like you said, it's a hotbed of darts. North East there. There's so many great players, the likes of Adam Hunt, Ryan Joyce there on the tour again now. Glenn's joined the tour. You've got Paul Nicholson and that who's been on the tour previously. And yeah, it's just one of those. We play the likes of those in local competitions week in, week out. So just to win a local competition is very hard in the North East. And if you've won quite a lot in the North East, then you know you're going in the right direction. And just to be on the tour with them guys is an extra boost for us. But yeah, it's just great all round.
Chris plays the best players week in, week out, but does play in the likes of Phil Taylor in the past and now Michael Van Gerwen and Gary Anderson in particular get easier?
No, I wouldn't say it gets easier, but yeah, I find myself more comfortable against the big names. Going in as an underdog is a lot better for me, obviously, because it takes a lot of pressure off. But yeah, when I played Phil, I still think if I hit those darts at a double 16 to take it to 2-2, I still thought I could have went on to win that match. And it is a kick in the teeth, but I've learned a lot from that game, and I took it into the following year where I lost to Gary Anderson in another great game. Yeah, I'm just learning every time, every game, every year. I'm learning, and hopefully it's just a step in the right direction.
In this year's Premier League, Chris is a contender. This interview happened before Chris found out who he was playing in the Premier League at Newcastle on the 19th of March. But who did he want to face before the announcement took place?
Yeah, well, I'd love to play Glenn. Obviously, being a Newcastle Middlesbrough rivalry, you know, I would like to see how many Glenn's fans would come out and give me a bit of stick. And yeah, it'll be a good test for me. But no, I'll take anybody. I've played quite a lot of them now, so nobody frightens us. It's just going up there and doing the job on the night.
So Chris wanted to take on Glenn Durrant in Newcastle versus Middlesbrough, but he's going to be taking on Super Chin Daryl Gurney at the Utility Arena on the 19th of March. A fantastic match in prospect. Chris Dobey's form in the last 12 months has been superb, making 2 TV semi-finals. Surely Chris is on the road to his first big TV win. He discussed this in great depth.
The game against Gerwin, I had a little time to reflect on that. I possibly should have won that game. I missed a couple of doubles, I think, to go 9-6 up with a break, and that was the key point. From going 9-6 up, he got it back to going 8-7 at the break, and I didn't quite find my feet after the break, and he rolled off another few good legs and won the match. But yeah, looking back on a few of those defeats, like I said before, I've learned a lot, and hopefully take that into the start of this year and get off to a good start and put that behind us.
I then asked Chris about his biggest win in darts. He mentioned a player who's hit the headlines around the world in the last few weeks because of her road to the World Championship last 16 against Chris.
Had everybody wanting Fallon to win. A lot of my friends wanted to see Fallon win. But no, it was my biggest test and probably the best performance I've had on stage. So I knew what I had to do to beat Fallon. She threw everything at us, and she had beaten Ted and Mensah previous to that as well. So yeah, it was a big test. It was the test I wanted, and I felt I'd done pretty well to get her brushed aside.
So yes, Fallon Sherrick was Chris's biggest win so far in his career. But did he expect to even play her in the World Championship this year?
To be honest, I thought if I won my first game, I would be playing Ted, to be fair, because Ted's solid. On the floor, he's fantastic, and he's starting to get his stage game together as well. So, to be honest, I looked at the draw and I thought, well, if I win my first game, I think I could be playing Ted because he's that good. And when Fallon beat Ted, I was out in the crowd, and the atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. And yeah, she just knew what she had to do against Mensah as well. I think Mensah speeded up against her, which didn't suit Mensah's game. If he had to just threw his normal, slow game, he probably might have knocked her out of a rhythm or something and went on to beat her. But yeah, she done absolutely fantastic. And like I said, I actually fancied her to beat Mensah the way she took herself against Ted. So that's why I said in interviews I think she would win, and I fancy me chance against her, and that was my test, and that's what I wanted.
So that was a really fascinating insight by Chris about the World Championships. He didn't even expect to play Mensah Suljovic. He didn't know he was the number 10 seed. But back on to all things Newcastle United. Steve Bruce replaced Rafa Benitez in the summer. And what did Chris think about the Corbridge man taking over the hot seat at St James's Park?
Being a previous Sunderland manager, you know, he didn't really want the likes of that in the team. But no disrespect to Steve, I didn't obviously find him the right man at the start just because of that reason. But he's a Geordie, he's a Newcastle fan, and he's gonna give us the best, obviously, for everybody, and he needs the fans to get behind him. So yeah, obviously Rafa was a big name, and obviously what he's done in previous years is magnificent, and obviously it was gutting to see him go the way he did. But now we've got to look to Steve now, and he's picking up vital points in a lot of games this season. We would have thought, well, we've got no chance against these. The likes of, they've beaten Tottenham 1-0, we've beaten Chelsea 1-0. You know, we took goals against Liverpool. We actually had chances, but now we've took vital wins, and he's just proved that he can do it.
So yeah, Chris told me off camera about his preparations before his World Grand Prix first round match in Dublin in October, just while Matty Longstaff was putting one in the Gallagher against Manchester United. There's a lot of Manchester United fans at the PDC. How did he react to finding out about Matty Longstaff's fantastic finish in October?
Yeah, it was class. Obviously practicing in the back room before a game. I had it on my phone. There was Mike Smith, Joe Cullen, Ricky Evans, who I was playing that night. Well, they're all Manchester United fans, and I'm the only Newcastle fan. So I went off to bull up with Ricky. The score was 0-0, and come back, and their faces were, they weren't very happy, and I'm thinking, oh, what's the matter? Like, what's the score? Has anybody scored? Not knowing, obviously, when we were to bull up and Newcastle had went 1-0 up, and I just give them a bit stick, you know. It swings and roundabouts because it's backfired on me a few times, but it was nice to get that sly one in, so that was great.
So as you can see, everyone loves beating Manchester United, don't they? Going back to the present day, as world number 19, what is Chris's first aim for 2020?
I want to be in that top 16. Obviously, it's gutting to look back now. If I'd beaten Glenn, I was either just in or just out of this top 16. So, yeah, I'm not far away now. It's just all about getting a good start of the year and hopefully kick on from that and, yeah, push myself away into the top 16.
Finally, winning is the main aim for any professional sportsman. But when could we see Chris Dobey lifting and parading any silverware at St James's Park?
I only started to think that the last couple of years, obviously, when I've started to do well on the tour, yeah. But I've had a few conversations with a lad from Newcastle saying, obviously, if I'd done that, I would love to do that, you know. So, yeah, hopefully get that first win under my belt, and who knows what I could be walking in that around the pitch, you know, with a trophy. So let's hope we can see Chris Dobey parading a trophy outside St James's Park in the very near future. A big thanks to Dave Pallett and Sam Milner for sorting the interview out, and a big thanks to Lee with editing the video. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you all very, very soon.